Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network on Apex Racing TV for this, the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship from the Mount Panorama circuit in Australia. Yes, we are down under for this one. We've got searing temperatures, terrifying corners, and some elevation changes. Very, very fast straights as well. This could be a fantastic penultimate meeting of the season. We welcome you inside the commentary box here at Apex Racing TV. I'm Andrew Woodhouse, and alongside me tonight is Adam Bath with Sam Kumo on the cameras. And Adam, Bathurst, we always come here with the sense of uncertainty and one definitely of almost a bit of a lottery in this penultimate round.
And that's just us two, isn't it? I wonder what the drivers are feeling going into this one. There's a lot more riding on it, of course, because it is the Showdown. Just 2 race meetings to go now. This week at Bathurst and next week at Daytona to decide the champion. And if you do not want to pick up any 0 points here, just get to the finish in all 3 races. It doesn't matter if the car's severely damaged or you're sacrificing some positions, because just getting some points on the board will be a whole lot better than picking up nothing at all. And you want to make sure that you get into Daytona next week with a fighting chance of getting potentially a title. So this is a really, really important race meeting tonight.
Those 5 words, just get to the finish, are never quite so difficult to achieve as they are here in Mount Panorama. And you know, we've seen many times that championships can be derailed here. We've had surprise winners in the past. We've had road blockages, we've had safety cars. Pretty much everything under the sun has happened at this very, very famous circuit indeed, which and one of the reasons, Adam, why it is so difficult, of course, is some of the very, very famous and tough corners that exist around this circuit, especially the run down the mountain section.
Oh yeah, and Bathurst, mainly public roads. I think it might be all public roads actually. And then yeah, you've got the descent down the hill. You've got the really tough left-hander at McPhillamy Park. Then you've got Brock's Skyline, and then you're pretty much going blind into the S's. Then you've got the Dipper, and then you've got Forest Elbow. That is an incredibly difficult part of the lap where you've got to get through it without hitting anything, and then also you've got to make sure that you're quick as well so that you don't get overtaken by anyone. So that's going to be the make or break section of the lap. And as the qualifying session continues and gets nearer to a close, it's Ross Balfour who's currently leading the way in the qualifying session, and he's had a good showdown so far as Ross. And just alongside him on the front row at the moment is the reigning champion Wojciech Svidovic.
Yeah, Balfour's been great these last few weeks, hasn't he? And Svidovic has definitely got his work cut out for him to try and claim that 7th title. And well, he's going the right way about still being in contention, that's for sure. Currently going to be starting on the front row. These are the points, the way we believe they are. Ross Balfour, 10 points clear according to our standing sheet here, and Ross McFarlane 10 points again ahead of Josh Thompson. Svidovic in 4th place, ahead of Ben Palmer, who was leading the way a couple of meetings ago, so he's dropped down a little bit, but still very close to the front, as is Dave Baker and as is Jack Sedgwick. Jamie Rushworth is in 8th. And then beyond him, Adam, it seems quite difficult, I think, for the likes of Jason Cooper and Doka, Sutton and Harrod. I think they would need something massive here, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, Suzuka was a disaster for Ash Sutton. It really was. Colliding with somebody very early on. It was his teammate, wasn't it, in one of them? Jamie Rushworth.
Rushworth, wasn't it? Going off and then coming back on, wasn't it?
So that was one to forget. As for Sedgwick as well, who for so long this season we've seen him in the top 5 positions. He's now out of that, but he could easily claw his way back, as there is Jack Sedgwick coming into the final corner, currently 5th in the qualifying standings.
Yeah, it was also very closely fought in the AM category. I wonder if we could just see those points again just for a minute or two. Because Pete Newman leading the way in that, and of course we mention this nearly every week, but he's contended for the main championship before, dropped down to AM, and well, could pay off for him. Currently 53 points clear of Mark Johnston, Simon Fields in 3rd, and Adam Hedgecock, Lee Berridge in 5th. You see Adam Hedgecock, by the way, Adam, he got a tweed coloured boosted livery for another series that he's in. I said we should start calling him Hedge Fun.
I did see your tweet on that. I don't know whether I could bring myself to like it or not. But yeah, very good. Well, he's hoping that he can fire his way forward. Hedge guys, he's currently sat in 17th place, just one place behind Newman, who's coming over the line now. Is there going to be a late improvement for him? He does, and he goes right to the top of the AM category with a 2:19.566. A very late lap there by Peter Newman.
Yeah, starters you mean to go on for Newman, and that may well have secured pole position for him. There's still a handful of drivers on laps, but I don't know if any of them are quite. Oh, I think there was a collision there, was there, between Gregory and one of the CQR cars at the top of the hill? Maybe the CQR car had crashed on their fast lap. Still going round is, I think Thompson might be still on the lap. Possibly Simmons as well. We'll see if they look like fast. They do look like fast laps, especially. And Simmons is going to get a great run down the back straight. Or maybe not, because they're going to back off.
Someone's trying to go by them. That's Sedgwick, yeah, 989. Yep, flying by into the chase.
Well, it looked like he was attacking the chase with Zevdoka.
Oh, Simmons going for the air show. Yeah. Oh.
He's missed it, hasn't he? Oh dear. Well, he's lucky that was Thompson, because Thompson was not on a lap, so he was fortunate that didn't collide with the car that's still trying to set a competitive time. There's a wheel on the circuit, and thankfully that gets cleared before, I think it's Luke Cooper possibly going through. Might have even been Kip Stevens actually coming through trying to set a time.
There's Jake Blackhall, who
does now actually. Stevens, is that a? No, it doesn't improve. So not really any improve. Oh, Woodhouse has improved. He's the first one to go quicker out of everyone we've seen in the last 2 minutes, Adam. So I wonder if that track temperature, which we said was quite high, might have just been playing a bit of havoc at the end of the session.
Yeah, a lot of movement in the Pro-Am category very late on in this session. We saw Newman gaining places there, Woodhouse as well. Jake Blackwell also coming in with a late lap, a bit of damage on his car, which was caused by a crash that we saw before we came on air on the front straight. But of course, you're not allowed to tow back to the pits. You've got to bring it back under your own steam and then make any necessary repairs before getting back on the road. So yeah, that's the rule in this series anyway when it comes to qualifying.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure if he's done everything properly there, he's going to be fine. So Balfour will be on pole once again, and he's been really impressive since his return to the series this season. And yeah, I mean, he won a few races in the Kia Optima a couple of years back. Then he had a bit of time out of the series, just turning up sort of occasionally, but this season he's been back in full force. McFarlane did close the gap, didn't he, to just half a tenth with right at the end. So that was pretty good for him. Svidovic down to third, even though he did improve himself. And this circuit as well, Adam, like probably one of the best on iRacing as well, given the fact that you can see a lot of the circuit from because of its elevation and things like that. You can see it from quite a distance away. So iRacing had to work very, very hard on making everything very, very detailed and perfect looking, all the trees, all the fields, things like that, and truly is a stunning track.
Plenty of reference points, that's for sure, around this place. Here is the starting grid then for the first race of the day. Top 12 completely pro drivers. Ross Balfour starting on pole, Ross McFarlane in second. It's a row full of Rosses. Then it's Wojciech Svidovic in third, with Josh Thompson in fourth, Jack Sedgwick in fifth, and George Simmons in sixth for the SDK Gaming team. Dave Baker seventh. Then it's Michael Evdoka, Peter Harrod, and Ben Palmer completing the top 10. 11th, Jake Blackwell, just over a second behind Balfour, and Craig Williams completing the top 12. Then Pete Newman, the highest of the AMs, the Pro-Ams. Then Mark Johnston, Mark Woodhouse, Nathan Davis at Hesketh Racing. He was in the thick of the action at Sonoma Suzuka last week. Luke Cooper, 17th. Then Adam Hedgecock, Kip Stevens, and Jack Stiles completing the top 20. Then it's Lee Berridge, Tim Greven. He also was right in the thick of the action at Suzuka. Then Ben Gregory in 23rd. John Roberts, who won here in a one-off charity race, I think we did a couple of years ago. I hope I'm right. Then it's Ben Gregory. We've just done that. Jason Cooper, 25th, not setting a time. A lot of these drivers will have probably picked up penalties for incidents at Suzuka. Jamie Rushworth, not setting a time. David Von Breck, Ash Sutton, Simon Field, Matt Bunn, Sean Gardner, Rob Graham, and set to start at the back for this one in 33rd place is going to be Tyler Vickery.
Sutton is going to be happy that Rushworth's starting ahead of him, even though he took him out last week. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well, Balfour and McFarlane on the front row. Will it be Australia tonight? Who knows? Could be. Is it going to be Northern Ireland? Is it going to be Scotland that takes the win? Or could it be Poland, even in the form of Sedgwick? Let's see. The 5 red lights are going to come on. The lights are out. And the race is on here at Bathurst. Oh, chopping across is Thompson, trying to defend hard from Sedgwick, but Balfour gets away well. McFarlane gets through Hell Corner first. And Thompson and Sedgwick then might be the battle going up the mountain straight, Adam, on the first lap.
Yeah,
flashing the lights, Thompson.
He's already flashing the lights. He's wasting no time. And look at George Simmons. That STK gaming car looks like it's got a fair bit of grunt when it's in the tow. John Roberts, by the way, starting from the pit lane. That explains why he was dropping down the order when the lights went out. But so far, so good for Sedgwick. He's already at 1 place, and Ross McFarlane is already latching onto the rear bumper of Ross Balfour as they head up the hill.
It's the pit lane start of John Roberts, of course. We've got to remember if Balfour goes through the cutting then on the first lap, and this is the technical part of the circuit. Simmons going very wide. He almost hit the wall there coming up the hill and through Funemy Park here. And this is a very, very tight part of the track where you really got to be right on your game. It's one of those places where when you're learning the track, you know, you go through it and you feel like it's quite comfortable, and then you see some of the experts going through there, you know, flat out or nearly flat out, and you wonder how on earth they're doing it. Now, coming down the hill for the first time, they'll be coming down the mountain when they come, but will they emerge at the bottom in one piece?
Through Forest Elbow then, and out onto the Conrod Straight. And Jack Sedgwick, he's already getting 1 place on this lap. He wants to try and get another here as he tries to line up his teammate in Wojciech Savidovic. Wojciech immediately goes to defend the inside. Oh, almost on the grass as well as they go over the top of the hill. A little dip at the brakes, and I think he's going to let him through. You're right. Yeah, into the chase we go. You do not want to go side by side here because it could result in a bit of contact. And fortunately for the Apex Racing team cars, they don't take that risk.
Interesting strategy by Savidovic on the opening lap. Kip Stevens has got himself up into 20th place, but Pete Harrod has been off at the chicane, and that will be a slowdown penalty. Of course, as we say, year upon year, month after month, slowdown penalties on the first lap usually quite harsh. They're better than they used to be, and this is Cooper on Woodhouse. So Luke Cooper making his way up through the field. See Mark Johnston 2 cars ahead of him with the Northern Irish flag on the front of the car. He's second in the AM category. So according to the standing sheets, that is our disclaimer. Balfour still leads then. McFarlane right in his slipstream. And I wonder if the TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport driver might try and make a move. Sedgwick having a look as well. Going into Griffin's Bend. And what can... Oh, he's trying to get it alongside him, Adam, but even if he does... It's tough to get alongside and make a move stick around here. You've really got to be, one, I think, slightly lucky in when you catch the car in front, and 2, then very, very brave indeed to make it work.
Yeah, it's almost nigh on impossible to get a move done through this section of the circuit. Through this left-hander, if you end up offline, it's pretty much curtains for you. There's just literally no grip offline, and then that concrete wall looms very large.
That's going to get worse as the meeting goes on as well, with all the marbles and the dirt gets deposited onto the track. As you see, Sedgwick's slightly offline, and it is a ride going down here. It is an absolute roller coaster. And then Forest Elbow, an overtaking spot if you are a maniac, I think, but you can try it.
Kamikaze move, isn't it? If you if you go for that move, it was really interesting to see when we were on board with Jack Sedgwick there, just how light the rear got on Ross McFarlane's car in front of us, just going into Forest Elbow. It was really twitchy, and in the dipper as well. And Sedgwick is trying to get that second place going into the chase. I think he's just not close enough to go for a lunge up the inside just yet. No, he isn't. And of course, we still have got 15 minutes to go, so it's not the do or die for him at the moment.
It's a rare circuit, Bathurst, as well, because the final corner, Murray's Bend, is an overtaking spot. And we've seen many races finish in electrifying fashion as drivers go to battle through that left-hander, and that is Jason Cooper. That is one of the title contenders, Adam, and that is not particularly how he wanted to start his evening.
No, rear damage for him.
For him, so.
Oh no. that's resurrecting that joke up, aren't we? I wonder if Ben Gregory may have had a part in this. I'm just assuming, because I did see a lot of front end damage to his car. No, is it going to be a boosted car that hits him? Oh yes, 88. That was David Von Breck in the boosted motorsport car.
Yeah, and fairly hard damage on the back of that ultimate car as well from that hit, as this is Sutton and Greven. So hold on to your hats, everybody. Into I think there was some contact, Adam, into the to Griffins. And well, this is going to be fun because Greven's been held up and cars behind getting very interested indeed. But this is Luke Cooper, Woodhouse, and Hedgecock, and Styles.
Of course, these guys could be in contention for a reverse grid later in races 2 and 3. If you knew, we do spin the wheel of fortune, and with it only being a 33 car grid, these guys have got a really good likelihood of ending up at the front of the, towards the front of the grid for the second or third race.
Sedgwick's just got up into second place as well. We didn't see it on the screen, but Jack Sedgwick has got ahead of Ross McFarlane, and that, well, we'll have to see how that was done. We'll just maybe watch and see if he gets a run into the chicane. And he is getting a run. Look at this. It's a great slipstream for Sedgwick. Now, we've got to turn through this blisteringly fast right-hander here first. And that's where Balfour decides he wants to defend the inside.
Good job there. But look, oh wow.
It came in the middle, didn't it?
Great run on the exit.
To Murray's.
It's so difficult to get a move done around the outside here, but if you're late enough on the brakes, you might try and fancy it. He's not able to get it done, but he's going to get an excellent cutback.
That's really well judged. Can he get alongside for Hell Corner? Will there be hell to pay? No, not on this occasion. But I think he knows, Sedgwick, that it's a better overtaking spot at the end of the mountain straight. Into Griffins. He pulls out from the slipstream. I don't think Balfour's going to fight this one too hard unless he decides he wants to try and take the long way round.
Yeah, I think that's what he might be planning to do, because the next corner is a left-hander. But if you're Jack Sedgwick, you don't care about that, because he braked later and he's through into the lead. But he's brought along everybody else with him, because McFarlane, Wojciech, Josh and George are all there.
Clean move there. These 5 drivers really have been pretty much the class of the field this season.
And this is what we get to see in race 1, isn't it?
Great to see them in battle, isn't it? With no obstacles as such, just flat out racing. Oh my word, Sedgwick was close to the wall.
You've almost got to aim for it. It looked like he was aiming for it, and it turns at the last minute.
That's mental, isn't it? I mean, imagine being that good.
Oh yeah, George Simmons.
Kind of commitment.
George Simmons in 5th is the coach for this car with the Apex Racing Academy.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far. See him there in the SDK Gaming colours. Sorry, the Academy colours, of course.
He's now flashing the lights at Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson, who, in the interest of impartiality, he runs his own driver coaching service as well. And of course, he drives for Williams Esports. So he's a pretty quick pedal, as you can see.
Indeed he is. And well, Simmons will be busy soon, of course, now that Formula 1 season is...
yeah. Got practice, actual practice tomorrow, yeah.
Tell me about it, unbelievable. will actually be F1 cars on a track for the first time since, what, November? Maybe the beginning of December? Well, in a competitive session, I will say. We had testing, of course. And we were only bizarrely a few hours away from getting a practice session in Melbourne, weren't we? But that was put paid to like quite late in the day. Well, look at this as well. It's funny, Adam, because you said that they'd brought Simmons along and Baker and Evdoka were sort of closing in on the group. Also, the Blackhall Palmer Newman situation is getting a bit close to the front as well, it looks like.
Well, yeah, there is Blackhall. Palmer just a bit behind him. And yeah, the top 10 are only 4 seconds away between each other. In fact, they're all in one camera shot, as you can see them fly by there. So that is incredibly encouraging to see for not just us, but some of these drivers here, showing that they're not losing too much time to them.
That's what the ARLTCR is all about, and we've said this for years. You know, there's nowhere else where you'll see touring car racing of this quality.
And now this is the stakes in the Pro-Am category. Newman's managed to set off into the sunset for now in race 1, but this is the fight for 3rd, 4th and 5th in the Pro-Am category. Cooper leading the way here. One little...
4th, 5th and 6th actually, Adam, because Johnston and Davies are ahead of this group. About 3.5 seconds ahead, actually, to be precise.
Over the top of the hill they go then. We have seen a few crashes here in the past where if the car's behind, they've just got no way of knowing that there's going to be a huge pile up there. And we've seen them fly into one another.
We had that one that I think turned me into a meme there as well, with one of my reactions to a car that was rolling over, I think, going downhill. But yeah, and the reason why I mentioned Johnston and Davies, Adam, is because Johnston is second in the championship, so we'll have to see where he manages to finish, of course. This is Woodhouse, then with really got the bit between his teeth, but not quite close enough. Bathurst is showing that patience is going to be key, and you know that's what's going to be rewarded as McFarlane sets the fastest lap on lap 6, and Simmons having a look at Thompson. So battle of the driver coaches there. Wow.
You did mention the whole patience game. We definitely saw that in abundance at Suzuka, so I wonder if that has given them a little bit of preparation last week for this one. Simmons is trying to find his way through. Thompson, I think, did describe it as a snooze fest. Hopefully this is a bit more entertaining for him, as he now has to turn his attention to his mirrors to see the bright green and black Academy car flying towards him.
And it's boring in the car. It didn't seem too boring to us watching, but you know, I guess it's the old those who can't do talk about a situation, isn't it? What do we know? But no, I think this one, you know, race ones are sometimes quite dull, but I do think that watching these front guys going absolutely hell for leather is very, very exciting. It's like just to talk about that actually in a lot of old F1 races, and a lot of F1 fans of an older generation will, I suppose I can count myself of that. You know, we are on YouTube, so I guess the viewer base is going to be slightly younger, but I think they used to just enjoy watching the cars go around the track because drivers were flat out, and around places like Monaco and Imola and Suzuka and Silverstone, and that's the same here, Adam. I don't know about you, but the sight of these touring cars flying through that middle sector is just unreal.
Well, we get to see the best of both worlds here. In race 1, we see them going hell for leather, as he's saying, and then in race 2 and race 3, we see their overtaking prowess as they have to fight their way through the field. Yeah, I was just thinking back to the 90s and the 80s in F1 qualifying there. You really got to see what they're worth, because before refueling came in those days, you didn't have like the different mixtures and NGUK and NGUH settings where you can turn the engine up or turn it down in different parts of the race.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, saying all this about this race, we've had an overtake for the lead in this race. So it's not as if.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Not as if nothing's happened, is it? But no, it's I just think that because I mean I don't think I've driven the Audi round here, but definitely the Kia a couple of times. And man, it was a tough race meeting. I think in the club series it was, and it was tough.
We were talking the other day, weren't we, about potentially doing the 12 hours of Bathurst here. Now that would be tough.
Well, it'll be the 12 minutes of Bathurst, and then shutting the computer down. I think that one will be, but Jesus, well, if it's not in a GT3 car, I think we'll be fine.
Maybe stick us in the GT4. The good news is that there's only a few hours.
One of these would be all right.
The good news is I think the race starts at sunrise, so I don't think we'll be doing any nighttime driving in this anyway. At least many of us will be anyway.
We have officially bottled, I think, the 24 hours of Spa. I don't think we're doing that anymore, but it's probably a good thing. I still we're coming from Le Mans. As at Stevens, Burridge, Field, Gardner. What is this nonsense down in 24th? I want to see it. It's absolute nonsense.
Well,
the timing tower is red.
Well, that could potentially be reverse grid territory as Wojciech Savinovic goes flying down the hill.
I think we don't have that capability of going that far down the field, sadly. So unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to forget that ever happened. But Thompson is on his way. You can see Simmons behind, and flashing the lights. Of course, Thompson does drive for the Craig setup shop, so flashing lights is a bit of a speciality in that team, I think.
That's true. Simmons, though, darts back into the. They're bouncing off the rev limiter as he gets on the brakes.
Well, they're not bouncing off each other yet, but there's still time. This is a great battle, though. Simmons keeping Thompson very honest, but just proving how difficult it is to overtake here at Bathurst. When Simmons can get within 0.2 of a second of him on the straight, Adam, and not even make a challenge, it shows that it is tough.
I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen at Daytona next week when they've got all that banking to try and get by somebody.
Well, we did see, didn't we, in one of the earlier races in this car, I think it was last season, we did talk about the banking being an issue and the length of the straight being an issue. So, yeah, we'll see. Woodhouse has been passed by Sutton. So that's Ash Sutton up to 17th. That could prove to be quite vital for the reverse grid, and Sam Kumo's going to bring that to us in about 5 minutes time, so that'll be the highlight of my days, the reverse grid wheel, of course, as Sutton alongside Cooper. And will Cooper try and go the long way around the outside? He will, and he looks like he's going to hold on to that place because we do have to turn left at the end of this little short straight here.
Sutton trying to go around the outside.
Oh, he gets a cutback because Cooper's gone wide and Sutton's through, and that might be Woodhouse through as well, look. Oh, bang!
Oh, my. Don't want to have a crash here. Oh, they're still going side by side through here. This could be interesting. There's just enough space. And Woodhouse is able to get by 2, so he's up into 17.
That is either mighty brave or mighty stupid. But they've done it. Hey, fair play to them.
Good move. Right, here's Pete Newman then. He's on the outskirts of the top 10. He's not too far away. He's got Ben Palmer just in front of him, but behind him he's got Pete Harrod. I did say he's got Ben Palmer in front of him, didn't I? Yeah. And then Pete Harrod behind him, and then Craig Williams.
Did you know that Ben Palmer's in front of him? But I think Newman having a good run here. He's on course to win the AM category. He's just got one more lap to hold on to that. And Jack Sedgwick has just got one more lap to hold on to the lead. And well, if you were a betting man, Adam, and I know that you are, would you put money on an overtaking move on this last lap?
None of my tips are any good, but yeah, it's gonna be tough for Balfour because I've had a look at the gaps in the last few laps, and the closest it's got is
Woodhouse,
the circuit.
Woodhouse has crashed.
Oh no! Just after pulling off that amazing move, he's off at the chase. Doesn't look like he's picked up any damage though. Oh hello, this is Cooper trying to get back by.
Well, is it going to be... Oh! Well, that was like the chase, the revenge of Bradley Walsh, wasn't it? He just got absolutely... Oh, he just got the shoulder barge, didn't he? And off into the gravel. Ben Gregory's crashed as well out there on the circuit somewhere. So, who knows what's going on between them. Gregory's got, look at that damage.
Yeah, he picked that up very early on, did Gregory, and he's been carrying on ever since. Look at the bonnet, it's flapping about. Lucky they didn't come off.
Actually comes off, yeah, at some point, maybe with another hit, but Gregory, a bit worse for wear on the final lap. Sedgwick is still not giving the Armco, or the wall, any breathing space whatsoever, and nor should he, because Balfour, oh my God.
And they go through the differ there, yeah.
Oh, how close do you want to get to the wall? It's amazing. Sedgwick drives it in hard to Forest Elbow, and I think he's got enough. If he manages to just negotiate the chicane cleanly, he's got to hit his braking point. Balfour is closing, Adam, but not close enough at this point.
No, that Apex car has proven to be pretty quick in a straight line. Only one driver in the top 5 has done any overtakes in this race, and it's been this guy here, Jack Sedgwick, as he's on his way into the final chicane.
Got it down to 0.3 of a second as Balfour, but I don't think he's going to get any further ahead than that unless he has a big lunge into the final corner, which, I'll be honest, probably isn't sensible. Somebody might try it. Thompson could well do it, but here comes Sedgwick. Oh, and Thompson and Simmons have, I think, had a bit of a set too, because Dave Baker is through into 6th place, but it's Jack Sedgwick who wins here at Bathurst in round 1 of the penultimate meeting of the season, and Dave Baker steals one on the line because I have to only imagine there was contact between Simmons and Thompson.
And there was an overtake as well. I've seen, I think, Harridan and Williams as well late on. But yeah, Dave Baker, he getting into his customary 6th place. Even right at the death, he's able to pull that out of the hat.
That's the desperation to get into 6th, isn't it? Final corner. Over the line comes Rushworth. He was one of the naughty boys last week. And just look at that.
There was that craziness you were talking about on the timing screen, I think.
And was that a slowdown for Stevens, or was he Alan menuing? No, who knows? but who knows with Kip? But he's lost a few places there.
Just waited now for this guy, John Roberts.
Pit lane start, and he's just made sure he gets to the end, Adam. That's what you said was the smart thing to do, and what that does mean, of course, as everybody who started the race has finished it, by the way, is another thing which is astonishing, to be honest. But that means that potentially, if we have a large number on that reverse grid, we're going to get John Roberts on pole position, of course. The pole position of John Roberts.
Well, we haven't got long to wait. Matt Bunn didn't take the start. That's why he's all the way down there. But yeah, we now send it over to Sam Kumo, who's got the reverse grid wheel at the ready. And for the first time tonight, he's going to spin it and tell us who's going to be on pole position for race 2, Sam. Let's try and make it a big one.
Yeah, well, we'll try. So, let's spin it and see. And it is really close to a big one, but... And it is 40.
There you go. So John Roberts it is the pole position of John Roberts for race 2. Ben Gregory's heavily damaged Audi will back itself into 2nd place on the grid for race 2. Rob Graham in 3rd, Mark Woodhouse 4th, and Jason Cooper in 5th. Jack Sedgwick and all those guys are going to be starting outside the top 30 for this one. The next one, anyway.
That's silver linings, isn't it, for Cooper and Woodhouse especially, who were 2 of the few drivers to come into any peril in that race. I don't think, Adam, there was. We were talking about putting money on things. I wouldn't have. I don't think I'd have bet anything on there being 32 finishes out of 32 starters.
No, not at all. And here they are.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Jack Sedgwick wins the first race of the day, getting his championship charge back on course. Ross Balfour in 2nd, Ross McFarlane in third, Wojciech Savinovic in fourth, then Josh Thompson completing the top 5. Dave Baker then sneaking in 6th place. Watch this, by the way. John Roberts to the skies. He gets a bit of it. George Simmons 7th, Michael Avdoka 8th, 9th for Ben Palmer, and 10th for Jake Blackall, the 2 CQR Club teammates there. 11th, Pete Newman. He takes the Pro-Am honours after starting first in the Pro-Ams. Then Pete Harrod in 12th. It's the 2 Petes. Craig Williams in 13th. Mark Johnston in 14th. His teammate Nathan Davis in 15th. Then it's Ash Sutton, Jack Stiles, Luke Cooper, Adam Hedgecott, and Tim Greven completing the top 20. Then it's David Von Breck. Jamie Rusher, if you mentioned him, is back at the grid start, getting him up to 22nd. Simon Field up there, Lee Berridge 24th, then Kip Stevens, Sean Gardner, Tyler Vickery, then it's Jason Cooper down there in 28th place. Chance for him to get some more points on the board in race 2 with him starting towards the front. Then Mark Woodhouse, Bob Graham, Ben Gregory, and there's the guy who's going to be starting on the pole position for race 2. John Roberts with Matt Bunn not taking the start, finishing in 33rd.
Yes, indeed. And what a prospect that is. Full reverse grid for race 2 at Bathurst. You do not want to miss this when we return after the commercial break, which will just be in about maybe 10 minutes time here on the iRacing Esports Network as the penultimate round of the ARLTC continues. Welcome back on the iRacing Esports Network to the ARL Touring Car Championship, and here at Bathurst, Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with Sam Kumo on the cameras. Adam, race 1 was a pretty pulsating affair at the front, actually, in terms of how hard it was driven, and saw a couple of good overtaking moves in the top 6. But the race 2 has the potential to be, there's no other word for it, absolutely bonkers, I think, because it's a full reverse grid, and having that at a track where it is notoriously difficult to overtake could be absolutely spectacular, or it could be terrible. We don't know.
And with everybody finishing race 1, I think we can actually finally bring out the phrase "He who shall be last shall be first," because John Roberts finishes last.
It's not Jamie Rushworth, because we don't know what's wrong with the grid there. There it is.
It's just John Roberts on the pole. Second, Ben Gregory. Then it's Rob Graham, Mark Woodhouse 4th, Cooper, Vickery, Gardner, Stevens, Berridge and Field completing the top 10. Only one pro driver inside the top 10 there. Then it's Rushworth, David Von Breck, and then Tim Grevin, Adam Hedgecock, Luke Cooper, Jack Stiles, Ash Sutton there in 17th. 18th for Nathan Davis, Mark Johnston and Craig Williams completing the top 20. And then our guys that are right at the very front in race 1, likes of Thompson, Savidovic, McFarlane, Balfour, Sedgwick, they're starting from 28 all the way down to 30 seconds. Jack Sedgwick is going to be almost lining up in the final corner. That's how far back he is. As here we go, we're getting set for race 2.
They've got to all get past each other, of course, which is going to be tough for them. Here we go then. The lights are going to come on for 15 more mad minutes of motorsport. The lights are out and the race is underway here. It's a good start by John Roberts. Gets away well in the boosted car. Gregory as well. Woodhouse is up past Graham already, so that's a good start for Woodhouse, and it's a bit of barging going on through Hell Corner at the back. But and it's weird to say, Adam, that the back includes places people like Thompson and Sedgwick and Svidovic, but that was what was going on. But we've got now Cooper, and that's Jason Cooper, who's going to be very dangerous in this race, already up to 4th.
Yeah, good start from him, and he's already trying to apply the pressure on the cars in front. Rob Graham was the big loser out of all of that at the start. He's already lost 3 places down to 6th. There's a lot of jostling for position going on elsewhere in the top 10, but everybody's managed to make it through the first few corners without incidents as we go into the cutting.
Yeah, Sutton's going to be dangerous in this one as well. He's getting 4 spots already, so absolutely ruthless. The opening lap is Ash Sutton, Adam Hedgecock getting past David Van Broek. You can see on our timing tower, looking at Rob Graham, then he's lost a few places. Sean Gardner just in behind him for boosted. So Cooper and Woodhouse battling for 3rd. And it's going to be interesting to see if Cooper can get past and can make something of this situation. And he needs to win as well, Adam. Make no mistake about that for the title hopes. Gregory gets very close to Roberts there.
Roberts, he did escape to an early lead, but that has been quickly eradicated on this first lap, and now it looks like Ben Gregory wants to get by. Is he going to try on the grass? Well, John Roberts closes that avenue pretty quickly.
Well, he lost the rear into Forest Elbow, Adam. I think that's what sort of stymied his momentum. Gregory does get fractionally ahead, so let's see.
Wheel-to-wheel stuff then through the chase. On the brakes, it's going to be Gregory, is it? Roberts brakes very much later. Could go around the outside here.
Oh, wow.
No, he doesn't. Watch out for Woodhouse.
Not really seen that move work in before. Yeah, Woodhouse is lurking 3rd. Cooper thought about a move, but realises patience is going to be important here as Gregory maintains the lead, but then gets a poor exit. Roberts going to try. He's going to try the big long one round the outside. Look at that! He just absolutely sends it.
Well, this is just holding them up now, and everybody else is arriving on the scene. Gregory did go off in the final corner.
That was outstanding by Roberts.
Brilliant move. And yeah, Roberts is back into the lead. Here comes Woodhouse. He's ducking out from behind the slipstream.
What can he do? See Berridge and Field and Grevin going to the back line behind them as Roberts still leads then. But this is where it gets dangerous, Adam, because if... and he's allowed the inside here, and that is So I'm going to say that was a cardinal mistake, but oh my word. Good grief. What? Unbelievable.
Roberts almost going motorbike rider there, trying to back it in.
Oh, I think
like that.
Jamie Russell's just 2 places there. I don't know if that was a crash or not. He might be okay. But he's lost out to Hedgecock and Van Broek. Sutton's up to 10th, but he's finding his progress to be quite slow. Side by side with Simon Field. That's an old school battle on a Thursday night. Oh, and there's Sean Gardner. And Gardner has to just get out of the way as the smoke ahead. Something's kicked off with the leaders, and there's somebody in the wall, and that's Graham bouncing off the wall. And there is. Oh, that's Cooper, and he's just. I think he might have just hit Tyler Vickery there.
Oh. And someone into the wall in the background. That may have been Lee Berridge.
Well, their boosted cars just absolutely surrendered those positions to Sutton, didn't they? As
meanwhile, for the lead.
This has allowed these two to escape 3 seconds. We need to. I think once this calms down, we definitely need to see a replay of why they lost 3 seconds.
Great move by Woodhouse at the inside into the chicane, and that's him past. And yeah, if you have an incident on the mountain section, then a big gap like that is going to form. And now they just need to make sure they can measure it, because Cooper, with 15 minutes to go, will be eager to try and close the gap.
Yeah, sorry, Adam. I wasn't completely ignoring the lead battle. It was.
No.
It's like I could see it, but the thought wasn't fully formed in my brain for some reason. This is what happened. This is Gregory leading, then. This is a bit earlier, but we're gonna. I think we may.
That's why he went off. Yeah, that's when he went off.
Oh, here we go. So this is.
This is Brock's Skyline. I misses the initial apex, bounces across the grass. Does he miss the wall?
It. Oh, pulls the handbrake.
No, he nearly missed it.
Vickery was lucky he didn't get absolutely wiped out by that. And I think Cooper might have hit the wall on the way down, which potentially unsettled him. And those two have a bit of contact at the elbow. Terrific stuff, though. I mean, Roberts was hanging on for grim death, wasn't he, at the front, but couldn't quite hang on. House leads. And by a second, this is Vickery defending from Gregory, sorry, and Graham.
Gregory is itching to get by.
Gregory's car still functioning properly. I don't know. It was quite a hard hit on the wall in the end.
Yeah, he's just coming up to the west. Yeah, he got sideways here and then pretty much hit that inside wall side on. And somehow the car's still pointing straight, and he's not lost any mirrors either, which is interesting. And he's only down in 5th place after all that.
Yeah, he somehow managed to get away with it. But former AM champion then, in the slipstream of Tyler Lugo Vickery. Going to pull out from the slipstream of the American, down the long Conrod Straight, and into this frightening right-hander. In certain cars, it's absolutely terrifying. This is one. So you can see it bouncing around. How late's Gregory going to be on the brakes? The answer is very easy. He flies right around the outside. That is a terrific move, and that's going to actually get Rob Graham very, very interested indeed. The Scotsman is on the inside. Vickery's late on the brakes, though. Those two make a bit of contact. Graham just sort of nudges him on the apex. Now that's going to allow Sutton to... Oh, dear. 3 wide. Oh, and of course, none of them yield. You madmen. I'd have been straight out of that if I was in the middle. I'd have been earlier on the brakes. I'd have been so early on the brakes, it'd have been the 20th century, I think.
That was brilliant between those three, though, and Sutton advances. Now he's leaving Graham, Gardner. Oh, crash at the back.
Crash.
That's a big one. Now that was... Oh, no. The curse of the hedge puns.
They've managed to keep it out of... off the racing line, pretty much. Davis is going to be out, I think, after that.
Yeah, that car does not look good.
And Jack Stiles and Pete Harris drop it.
Traffic jam.
That's why the track is blocked at the coming out of Griffin's.
Got Kip Stevens reversing up the hill.
He's just rolling, isn't he? Oh. Well, I mean,
And that's not good for Luke Cooper either, not good for his Pro-Am Championship Volkswagen. This is what happened in the second incident. Let's go back and have a look at this one first. Yeah, Adam Hedgecock then.
Johnson's bonnet had come up.
And there was a Craig setup shop car that was already missing a wheel at that point. Oh, and that's Tyler Vickery, and that was Lee Berridge, I think.
It's a shame it wasn't missing the headlights, to be honest. But let's have a look again.
553.
And the Automatic car gets on the grass on the way in, which doesn't help matters. Then Vickery gets turned, flies across. It's a huge hit. RIP if you've got the direct drive wheel on there. And then everybody pretty much makes it through. I don't think it ever fully. Some people were stationary in the background. This is on board with Stevens, who's just trying to find somewhere to turn around. I think. Pull the handbrake, Kip. Do a J turn. Ask Alex Smolensky. That always goes well. Graham's up into sixth.
They were teammates, didn't they? Take each other out once upon a time.
Stevens and Smolensky wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, pretty sure they did.
He had to wear he had to have hazard stickers all over his car for the next race meeting.
Right. I remember that. Oh dear, keep your distance. A bit like the. I remember Williams did that once. I think it was about 2001 or 2002. I think they did that on Ralph's car. I think after he was hit like 2 or 3 races in a row. Look at this in the background. That is Balfour and Simmons and co. Looking at Wojciech Savinovic then. And, well, Wojciech managed to get through all that, actually, with just a bit of minor damage, it looks like. And he's actually up from 29th on the grid, so he's done a good job of getting through. Also, the other ones who are up double-digit place gains, Craig Williams doing a great job for his own team. Ben Palmer, 13, Blackhall, 11. Sedgwick up 17 and Baker up 11, and Ross Balfour is up 12 from where he started. So unfortunately for them, a lot of them got quite severely held up. So they're now 25 seconds off the lead. Is this group?
It's almost like a second pack this at the moment, trying to hunt down everybody else. They are just having a look at the gap. They are 3 seconds away from Savinovic, and they are a couple of seconds away from Tyler Vickery. Here is the battle for a spot inside the top 10. Here is Craig Williams, who's holding on to 10th spot, and then it's Ben Palmer and Jake Blackwell just behind. Williams
was carrying a lot of speed down the hill, and I wondered if he'd actually get it stopped, but did a good job in the end. But he's got trouble now because title contender in the form of Ben Palmer is right behind him. This could be quite a profitable race for someone like Palmer. Jason Cooper's set to get a lot of points. Ash Sutton needs big points. Sean Gardner's been great. We'll see this through to the conclusion of this battle then, because Palmer up the inside down Conrod, and Blackhall's going through as well then, so double whammy for CQR Club.
Great bit of straight line speed there by those guys to get through, taking quite a lot of curb on the inside there, the chicane. Rob Graham has just got past Simon Field, so he's up in 7th place as and Tim Greven's also got by. There might be issues there for the boosted car.
Also, what a fastest lap by Jason Cooper. That 9/10 quicker than anybody else at that time round.
Oh yeah, can he catch the race leader though? The gap is 2 seconds with just under 8 minutes to go.
There he is. And yeah, 8 minutes to close the 2-second gap. I wonder if he'll just give Woodhouse the hurry up now that he fully knows how quick Cooper is. Woodhouse not lapping slowly out there. There's only like 4 or 5 drivers who actually lapped quicker than him that last time around. But yeah, we'll see if he can keep the Team Mad car out front. Team Mad a very reduced presence as well this season. Adam used to seeing them have quite a lot of cars in the championship, but not so in 2020.
Also had the likes of Michael Blake in their ranks and Paul Smith as well. Yeah, Scott Malcolm as well.
Well, Scott Malcolm disappeared too. Although he was here last week, I think. But yeah, yeah, it's very much Woodhouse almost flying a lone flag out there, doing it well, but he's going to have big pressure from Jason Cooper, who's a bona fide superstar in this car. Let's be honest. Really, really strong driver, and especially now he's one of the top names. But Rushworth has crashed, I think, or something's happened to Jamie Rushworth, because he has lost 4 places in the space of about 20 seconds, and this will be why.
Oh, inside curve there. That's fine. Is it going to be Fenway Park here?
Oh, a bit of a tight entry.
Oh, yeah. Took too much curbing off.
Oh,
You don't stop those.
absolutely hammered the wall. He'll be lucky if everything's pointing in the right direction. Not too bad. I mean, it's not good. But I think the fact that we had that big crash earlier on, it's kind of meant that he's not in such a terrible spot. Still 2.5 seconds ahead of the next sort of big pack that's out there. This is Jack Stiles now trying to get past the former ARLTC champion. And almost going through at Murray's Bend. Gap is down to 1 second, Adam, although
Wow.
Woodhouse just gained 0.3 of a second. So must have been a slight error for Cooper, you would have thought, to lose that amount of time.
Yeah, and I think Cooper's last lap,
Oh,
as we look here, Rob Graham, who's got 2 very hungry boosted cars behind him.
well, there was a Greven's only just got past Graham, so I wonder if Graham might have gone off at Griffin's or gone a bit wide maybe, trying to defend it, but now he's got Gardner and Field right behind him, and it's not too bad defending down the mountain, but for how long is he going to be able to keep them behind? 3 drivers have dipped into the 2:18s. Jack Sedgwick just set the fastest lap of the race, and then he went and overtook Craig Williams for 13th. Dave Baker was in the 18s, and also Cooper again gained another second. Oh, Gardner's in the wall. Sean Gardner in the wall. He'll be lucky if that hasn't broken the suspension on the front of the boosted car, but now Jason Cooper, despite a mistake at the beginning of the lap, Adam, has got within half a second of Woodhouse. And here is the battle with what will be 2 laps to go at the line.
Oh, he's going to be trying everything he can to keep him at bay. You've got this far. You've got within a couple of laps to the flag. You do not want to concede the lead, at least without a fight anyway.
Well, you're 6 seconds ahead of John Roberts at this point, so it's worth getting in a battle, because even fighting tooth and nail, you'll be hard pressed to lose 6 seconds in 2 laps. And I think this is a track where you can hold someone off for a prolonged time if you're really committed to it, and there's no better time for Woodhouse to commit than the final 2 laps.
Oh, yeah, and he just
a
put in
potential
his
race victory.
He just put in he just put in a new personal best, 2:19.79.
It's great stuff. He lost another half second on that lap, but he's definitely pulling his finger out, that's for sure. And only 5 drivers on that previous lap were quicker than Woodhouse. So I'll tell you what though, Adam, when Mark Woodhouse started, I know we've gone on about this, we went on about this quite a bit last season, but not so much this season. When he started when we were racing in the Kia Club Series and things like that, and you know, I'll be honest, he was a lot slower than he was now. You know, I could beat him fairly easily, and like I say now, I think he'd trash me if we raced each other.
I probably agree. What is it about Bathurst as well, where we have Team Mad drivers doing well here?
We get Paul Smith on the phone quick. I think, yeah. Well, to be fair, he would have just known this was happening even if he wasn't watching. He'll just sensed it somewhere.
So enough into 4th place as well. He's just got by Ben Gregory as the leaders go into Forest Elbow.
It's like when somebody says bubbly, I just know it. Even and Alex Neller, he's like that as well. When somebody says bubbly, he's right there. Here is Cooper then, right in the slipstream. And this is exactly where he wants to be, because he's going to be on the inside for the chicane. Although, he's not going to clear Woodhouse before that. Woodhouse is on the inside for the King, which will gain him a little bit of ground. Oh, I think he's just clear, is Cooper, but... Oh no, still a little overlap remains. Now, can Woodhouse do something similar to what John Roberts did, or will he try the cutback here and through Murray's? Sort of neither, wasn't it?
It's quite difficult to do there, I guess, as they come across the line. Final lap then.
Now, can he stay close? If he stays close to hell, might be able to get the slipstream up the hill and cause Cooper some problems. But Cooper's driven very well in a very controlled race from 5th on the grid. Woodhouse is gaining. He's going to get it down to about 0.3 of a second, Adam, but you fear that is going to probably be that. But we've seen mistakes on the final lap here before. Ben Palmer's just made a move to get into the top 10 at the expense of Rob Graham, so it's valuable points for Palmer, and he might get some more points here, as I think Jake Blackall's going to let him through and try to keep Jack Sedgwick behind, which is easier said than done in itself, as Wojciech Svinovic has gone up into 13th place ahead of Sean Gardner. So the guys who started at the back, they've not done such a bad job here, have they?
No, they haven't. Yeah, they've done all right, to be fair. Sedgwick gaining 22 places. That's quite remarkable around a trial like this, especially when there was a big wreck as well during the middle of it. And
Sutton's right on John Roberts for 3rd as well. So that one's going to go to the very end. Cooper is about to head onto the Conrod Straight for the last time, and well, this is going to be, if he makes it to the end, this is going to be valuable points for the championship, of which he's still a contender for. I think Sutton's made a mistake. He's dropped off Roberts by about 2 seconds, so looks like it's going to be a bit of the bubbly for Boosted. There's Cooper into the chicane for the final time. He's driven very well out of it, isn't he?
yeah, he's done a fantastic drive. He was 2 seconds away at one point from Woodhouse, but he was able to close the gap down, wasted no opportunity getting by, and now he's within touching distance of victory. Here he comes.
Yeah, here we go then. Jason Cooper is going to come across, and he's going to take victory for Automeg here at Bathurst. Brilliant performance, starting 5th, finishing atop the podium. Oh, Sedgwick and Blackall swapping positions on the final lap. There were also positions gained for Baker on the final lap as well, and this is Graham trying to get the position back from Dave Baker. It's going to be very close across the line. Who's going to take that one? That is going to be an even finish. It might even be a photo finish. 0.00 on my timing screen between those two. That was very close indeed, and I think Ben Palmer may have gained, sorry, Gregory and Sutton were battling, so Sutton had dropped down into the clutches of Gregory, and in the end it's the former British Touring Car champion that finishes in 4th place.
Here's Jason Cooper.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
We've gone from the pit lane start of John Roberts to the pole position of John Roberts to now the podium of John Roberts.
He's ticking them off. I'm sure he'd have liked to have been the winner of John Roberts.
All he needs is a win and a fastest lap, yeah, and he's got the lot.
Just waiting for a few more cars to cross the line before we can bring you the reverse grid for race 3. But here's a guy that's in quite a hurry to get back to the pits, I think. Jason Cooper.
Enjoyed that one a lot, so that he wants to go down for one more fast one.
Must be. Into Forest Elbow he goes. Oh no, he's doing. Is he going to go give us a bit of an air show here?
Oh, he's going as fast as he can then. Well, let's see. We're going to try it. See if he gets any more air than John Roberts did before. Roberts did clear the fence, so let's see. I'll be disappointed if he just takes the track like normal now. For those who don't know, it's a great big bump coming into the No, he's just being sensible. Which for years is all we wanted in these broadcasts. And now,
Roberts.
and now that,
Here
Roberts
we
is
go.
going to go for it anyway and see if he can beat his record. It's like watching the Four Hills out here. Oh, he gets it.
Bit of slow-mo there
Oh,
as well.
slow-mo. A little bit of the slow-mo. Very nice. Yeah, it's like the old Four Hills ski jumping competition. They'll have to mark that out with distance markers and things for next season. That could be a competition. There you go. Just an idea for a competition. I don't know how you judge it or measure it. But there you go. Great race. Fantastic race. We even had a pile up in the middle of it. So there was everything there. Once again, there was only one retirement from the race, and that was Lee Berridge. So Berridge has ruined everything. He's ruined absolutely everything. We nearly had 2 races with 32 finishers out with 32 starters at Bathurst, which is frankly unheard of.
Right. Let's get the reverse grid sorted then for the final race of the day. Let's get Sam Kumo in then, who's been having to go back and forth throughout the field with all the battles for us. And let's see who's going to get on that pole position then for the third and final race of the day here in the penultimate race meeting of the season.
Yep, and I don't mind looking because there's just plenty of battles. And I think if we get another big one, we should be seeing more of that. It is going to be a little bit smaller this time, only 25.
Well, I think that's going to be Josh Thompson. He's going to get the pole position from 25th place and going to have some competition on his hands because Jamie Rushworth is going to be just behind him, and then Pete Harrod, then Pete Newman, and Jack Stiles is going to round out the top 5. So let's see how they get on when we come back. We've got the results to go through first of all, though, and Cooper takes the win by 3/4 of a second over Mark Woodhouse, who gave him all he could handle in that one, but couldn't quite come out on top. John Roberts in 3rd, ahead of Ash Sutton, and then Ben Gregory in P5. Tim Grevin with a good drive to 6th from 13th on the grid. Simon Field in 7th, ahead of Ben Palmer. Jack Sedgwick in 9th, and Jake Blackall in 10th. Rob Graham was 11th. He seemed to be in the thick of the action wherever he went, but still a good finish for the another Automech driver. Dave Baker in 12th, another position gained on the final lap, just like race 1. Wojciech Savinovic in 13th, and 14th for Sean Gardner. Craig Williams in 15th, and George Simmons in P16, and then it was 17th for Ross Balfour, and 18th for Ross McFarlane. They started together in race 1, they finished together in race 2. David Van Broek in 19th, and then Michael Evdoka in P20, Jack Stiles 21st, and then Pete Newman, Pete Harrod in 23rd, Jamie Rushworth 24th, Josh Thompson 25th, he's going to be on the pole for race 3, Nathan Davies in P26, then Luke Cooper, Mark Johnston was 28th, Tyler Lugo Vickery, well, it was going well for him at the start, he is improving in this car, but had a crash and ended up in 29th. Kip Stevens 30th. He was caught up in that. We saw him reversing. It probably took him 2 minutes to turn around. But he was so far behind. And Adam Hedgecock 31st, a lap down. Did manage to make it to the end though, even with the crash damage. Then the only retirement of the day was Lee Berridge so far. So Adam, that was fun. And hopefully, as we look at a tennis court there, we're going to get some more excellent racing after the break.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here in race 3 once again. We've had it all really in race 1 and race 2. Now let's see what's going to happen here, because of course points are still on the line for the final round of the season. So we're going to take a quick break then on the iRacing Esports Network, and when we come back, we'll be getting set to go racing for the final time tonight at Bathurst. So you don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Bathurst then on the iRacing Esports Network for the final time tonight in the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with Sam Kumo bringing you all the great pictures that you see here. And well, Adam, we've had 2 great races. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully this third one's going to be the same.
Yeah, another bumper-sized reverse grid to look forward to for this one, as the afternoon sun starts to set here around the 6.14 kilometre circuit in New South Wales. And I wonder what the championship order is going to be looking like at the end of this one, as Michael Avdoka goes head on into the side of car 102. That was that Ben Palmer. So
it has got a lot cooler, by the way, as well, just so that.
Oh yeah.
It's gone down to sort of mid-20s in degrees now, as it was 40 degrees track temperature for race 1.
Some of these 3D crowds are fixed in their positions as here we go. Here's the starting grid. Josh Thompson on the pole, Jamie Rushworth in second, then Pete Harrod third, Newman fourth, Styles in fifth, then Avdoka in sixth. So an all TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport third row. Then David Von Breck, Ross McFarlane, Ross Balfour and George Simmons completing the top 10. Then it's Craig Williams, Sean Gardner, then Wojciech Savidovic, Dave Baker, Rob Graham, Jake Blackwell, Sedgwick, Palmer, Field and Greven completing the top 20. And it's Gregory, Sutton, Roberts, Woodhouse, then Cooper, Davis, then Luke Cooper, Mark Johnston, Tyler Vickery, Kip Stevens, Adam Hedgecock and Lee Berridge set to start at the back.
All right then. Well, here we go for the third time tonight. Lights are coming on. It's going to be Josh Thompson on the pole. The lights are off, the race is on. It's a good start by Thompson. It's a better start by Rushworth. Look, he's already drawing alongside the Craig setup shop driver in the first corner, but Thompson holds his ground and maintains the lead so far. John Roberts is off in the background. That is the exit of Hell Corner. So Roberts off, and he's been joined by Woodhouse. I wonder if Woodhouse maybe collected him, but they did start next to each other. Adam, suspiciously.
Oh my good God! They somehow they nearly missed the corner, don't they?
They're 3 wide in the background as well, and that's Pete Newman into the lead.
What a moment!
Crash! Big one.
Oh, they somehow all avoid it, do they? Oh, there's number 26 is around that Simon Field. There's a very smoky Hester
Oh no,
car.
Simon! Oh, he almost wiped out John Roberts.
You think being that far behind? Oh, this is like Austin Powers here trying to get the 3-point turn done.
The turning circle is horrendous, isn't it? It's almost as bad as an F1 car. Could be worse, actually. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, let's not. Could be here for some time.
Oh,
Newman! Oh my word! Thompson's round the outside and to the mountain. That's unbelievable. Is he going to hit the wall? Oh,
how
nearly.
on earth did he do that?
Got no clue. Does mean that Josh Thompson then he goes into the lead again.
Let's watch this again. This is
twice in this race.
So Newman, rides that curb, and then look at the wheel. He's doing everything. Just slow down, please.
My goodness, he absolutely just threw it in and praised, didn't he? I think. No, near plane bias issues. Look, there's Michael Avdoka. I know Sam will appreciate that. Well, both Sams will. Avdoka then on the inside of Pete Harrod into the. You see, Sam Kumo's microphone's not even on. I can hear him chuckling away probably in the background. As there's all sorts of chaos there. I can't even call that because Avdoka went wide, and there through is Pete Harrod up into the top 3. So. It's the first time we've seen him that high up today.
Thompson blinking in and out. Balfour was off as well. Yeah, good to see Harrod up here. The CQR cars have been lingering in and around the top 10 throughout tonight, and now they've managed to break their way into the podium positions here in the early going in race 3.
Yeah, and it's been a decent meeting for CQR in many ways. There's Wojciech Savidovic. We've not seen him very much this time. Since the early going of race 1, and he's chopping and changing with Craig Williams there, who's thinking about having a look as Simmons goes off at Griffin's Bend, or goes onto the grass at least, and well, help him in his fight with Evdoka, that's for sure. It might actually put him under pressure from Balfour.
Balfour trying to go around the outside, which is something that we saw Ash Sutton try and do earlier on.
Oh,
See, got club car there a bit wide. That must have been Blackhall. Yeah.
he was almost in the wall. Every time I go through here, every time they go through here, I get nervous because such high speed, such precision required, which we didn't see from Pete Newman on the opening lap. To be fair,
Imagine us doing a 12-hour race and there's cars trying to lap us through there.
not really. I don't think I want to.
Through the dipper then, here's Rushworth, who is trying to get some rhythm back after a tricky first lap which saw him lose a few places. He did try and get the lead as well early on, but that didn't come off too good when he was trying to get by Josh Thompson. But now he's got Ross McFarlane behind him, who did very well in race 1, and McFarlane has got his teammate acting shotgun as well in Michael Evdoka, who's having his best race of the evening so far.
Yeah, it's good performance from Texans Fitzstite here in this one. Rushworth has to cover. He doesn't cover far enough, though. You're going to go to the white line, Jamie, otherwise... Oh wow. Well...
Got away with one there.
That was unbelievable. Here comes Joe Simmons. Simmons is on the grass, ladies and gentlemen, going into Murray's Bend. There goes Ross Balfour, so didn't pay off for Simmons at all.
New fastest lap of the race from Pete Harrod, who does a 2:19.2. Ross Balfour trying to get by Ross McFarlane as Evdoka swoops around the outside and maintains the place. And look at the run that Balfour's got. He might try and split these two teammates here down the mountain straight. Oh,
yeah,
the mountain straight.
Evdoka looks like he's got the pace here, and he's now providing a wonderful slipstream for McFarlane, which might help him stay ahead of Balfour. Probably will here. Oh, well, I'll just eat my words, will I? Hit me. Balfour brilliantly goes around the outside. Fantastic late braking and commitment to what is a very tough corner. What to judge if completely right as we look on board with Ross McFarlane. And well, this is how terrifying it is from ground level.
Well, these two were at the front in race 1. It was Balfour that led everybody home. No, it wasn't. It was Sedgwick. It was Balfour that started off well in race 1 before getting overtaken by Jack Sedgwick. Ross McFarlane was up there as well in race 1, but they're now trying to get in the top 5, and they're gradually doing that. Ross Balfour's up 3 places. Ross McFarlane up just the 1.
What a camera angle this is.
3DS is fantastic, isn't it?
But yeah, McFarlane is slightly wide in one of the left-handers, and this is on board with Simmons right on McFarlane, and now we're going to get a perfect view of the slipstream. Now 0.3 of a second. Wow, it looks like the Texans Fitzstite car's got some great straight line speed on it, when he is only 0.3 of a second behind Balfour himself. So
Simmons just bouncing off the rev limiter there at 250 k's. Oh
my! Almost bounced off the rear of. Oh, Balfour's gone off, and that's. Well, this is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it? Simmons is going for broke here. He's almost in the pit lane.
I think you get away with that without an unsafe pit entry. I hope he does anyway.
Contact. With a light contact there. Suridovic is watching probably from behind his fingers, I think, on this one.
Evdoka passed Rushworth and up into 4th place. Sasiku asked him what's the car back into the slipstream straight away.
You see the sparks then as Simmons' car appeared and disappeared. Sparks were flying. Simmons' connection is a mess. As Rushworth trying, and some people don't like us talking about bad internet connections here, but I will point out it's part of the sport. It is part of the sport. It affects the racing. So to not talk about it would, to be honest, be a bit stupid.
And if you think it affects your viewing experience, just as the viewer at home, for the drivers, it's just please. I'm trying to go through one
Around
of the most...
this place?
Yeah. You just don't want that on top of everything else that you've got to think about, especially for this part of the circuit.
Can we say identical lap times by Thompson and Newman at the front, which is a pretty astonishing feat. 4 tenths, well, it was 4 tenths between, it's now 5.
Credit to Newman.
Doing a great job, yeah, of hanging on.
Pro versus Pro-Am. And as things stands, the Am is keeping the Pro at arm's length with still over half the race still to go.
Well, it's not Pete Newman's first barbecue, let's face it. Not in this series. Sean Gardner's dropped down the... Oh, Sean Gardner's has a crash, I think, on the mountain. Oh,
Right at the elbow. Backwards as well at the elbow.
Yeah, you can have all the spec maps that you like, but it's not going to protect you if you go into the wall at that velocity. Oh,
Gee.
no, dear, and then another one. Oh,
he gets his wing back. Oh, and then he reverses into it again.
He's just determined to knock it off. Maybe he thinks it's going to be quicker down the Conrad straight line. We just need the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, don't we, for this?
Oh.
As,
Don't give Sam ideas.
Poor Sean. Sorry, Sean. But it is funny, as unfortunately, Rushworth is right on Evdoka then again. Oh my word. Can this end in any other way than badly? I don't know.
I've got hope in these guys, I must admit. Oh,
well, if anybody's going to keep it relatively clean, it's probably this lot, but we don't know.
McFarlane then up the inside is... Oh my word. Credit to Rushworth and Balfour as well. They've tried this outside line in the past and it almost tends to work as McFarlane slams the door shut and Simmons almost looking up the inside of Balfour too there.
And yet again, Simmons' car appears in a place where it shouldn't belong, and there's contact between Balfour and Rushworth. Rushworth almost gets spat into the wall, but he holds the line just about. He almost held the overlap with Balfour, so Rushworth is very quick around here. I remember, was it him that was... oh! Well, there you go. There's your answer, everybody, as to how difficult it is racing with poor internet connections. Because Simmons just appears there on the screen.
Fortunately for everybody else, he doesn't tend to do his vanishing axe through here, and he has got a good run as well. Rushworth closes the door though straight away.
Yeah, it's tough. It is a tough place to pass. Thompson has got the lead out to 8 tenths. They've still done identical lap times, would you believe? Though that's their best lap time. Sorry, that's me looking the wrong colour. But only 2 tenths difference between them.
The speed of them as they fly by. Oh, there's somebody off. That's a car they're trying to lap. That's Luke Cooper. His car doesn't sound well at all.
Did we see what happened to Luke Cooper earlier on? He's not going to make the jump at that speed.
Oh. He avoids it. Here is Simmons though, trying to go around the outside of Rushworth into the final corner. That's surely not going to work. And Simmons, who lost a place in race 1 by going out wide there at the end, was lucky not to do so again.
Seems like Simmons' internet's sorted itself out, which is a relief for his competitors. As Sedgwick sets the fastest lap, and he's currently down in 17th. You can just see him at the back of the shot, actually, in the red Apex livery.
Look at them bouncing along over the bumps of this mountain straight.
Yeah.
And is this going to be 7th place for Simmons? He's very late on the brakes. Rushworth's up the inside. He tries to force the SDK gaming car wide.
Oh, he gets high centre on the curb slightly, Adam, does Simmons, and that kind of forced him wide.
And Rushworth's still there on the outside, even in the cutting. Now he's
great. Wojciech Svidovic is through though as well, look. Oh, it's Rushworth, is he going to collide with Sutton again? Oh, almost. Those two are going to be on speaking terms at the end of the season at this rate. Sutton is up to 9th place.
And is
going well indeed. Oh,
yeah, very
Svidovic was deep in that first part of the mountain, and one thing we haven't spoken about, if you mess up the top of the hill, you're sort of playing catch up all the way down.
Yeah, and oh,
Sutton into the elbow, bang! He hits Svidovic. Well, I mean, he got the elbows out of the Forest elbow.
there you go. And yeah, Rushworth through into as well.
Yes.
And who's this trying to join
David
the party?
Baker on the
It's David
grass.
Baker. Wow, very brave there from Dave.
Baker's had some great sort of recoveries at the end of races tonight. I think did he have a poor qualifying? Is that what put him down? Or was he starting? Did he have a penalty or something? Because I don't remember where he started in race 1, but he made a place on the last lap of race 1 to get 6th place. He made a place on the last lap of race 2 to get, I think it was like 11th or something. And now Svidovic and Rushworth going to battle. Baker, Sutton, Rushworth and Svidovic, it's like 2014 all over again.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 sparring partners from the past here, or 3 if you throw in Dave. Wojciech up the inside. Wojciech Svidovic has defeated all of these on his way to titles. I think it was Rushworth in... Rushworth was one of quite a few in season 6. Svidovic defeated Baker in 2016.
Rushworth, one of the few people to take a title from Wojciech over the years. As he's missing a mirror as well. Just the one mirror for Rushworth, who goes very wide. Here comes another CQR car. That's Palmer. So Ben Palmer just picking off the places. Consistency, right? Ben Palmer. Oh, Craig Selfshop car almost in the wall there. It's Williams. But actually Williams has managed to mug Rushworth as well. So Rushworth is spiralling down the order. I think he's really suffering now.
Yeah, did not expect this at all. He was battling with Thompson for the lead as well at the very beginning. Jack Sedgwick has arrived on the scene now as well.
Because he's really dropping time quickly. Oh, and he's going to drop more time because he's gone into the wall hard. Did he? Someone did.
Hard to tell. I think. Oh yeah, through goes Blackhall.
Someone battered the wall at the top of the hill because a wheel went flying. I think it was Rushworth, but I mean the car survived.
I think it's definitely down on horsepower. I think when we go onto the straight, I think we're going to see the full extent of the damage that he's got.
Here comes Sedgwick then.
Or not.
Yeah, he was up in what was it? P7. Seemingly moments ago. Simmons and Sutton going to battle. He seems alright in a straight line.
Oh my word, this is Sutton versus Simmons.
Simmons very late on the brakes here. Sutton with the cutback. He's going to try and go around. Oh, that's lovely. Very good. And into Murray's. He's going to have the inside. Is Simmons going to try the big dive? Or maybe he should. Maybe he could have done it. He's going to lose the rear. Oh, he almost collects him. Oh, wow. I don't know if I've seen this side of Joe Simmons out on the track for quite some time. He seems super aggressive tonight. Judge for yourselves at home whether it's a good idea, but doing his best.
He's got a decent exit as well out of the first corner out of hell. We do know that this SDK gaming car does like to hit the rev limiter.
Yeah, I think that's that's a late move. Goodness me. That is a bit close to the bone, isn't it? Simmons trying the outside. Is there going to be a bit of contact? Simmons tries to straighten up the car as quickly as he can to try and get the run. Sedgwick's had a problem, I think, Adam, because he's lost 4 or 5 spots. So Jack Sedgwick, one of the championship contenders, could it be his title? Well, it could be, but this looks like it's with Rushworth at Griffin's Benz.
Ah,
How close was it? Oh,
that's the rear gone completely. Well, I was just about to say it's a very important, and as the boot's nearly open.
well, does that replace the downforce lost by the rear wing, Owen?
Well, it definitely gets rid of any of the luggage in the back, that's for sure.
Oh dear.
Well, this
Not
is
laughing matter for him though, that's for sure. I'll tell you that.
This is a very important race for Sutton. Obviously, he's battling away with Simmons, but we saw how far down he was in the championship standings after what happened at Suzuka, and he wants to make sure he gets to the finish here, just so that he can. Yeah. Oh, crash in the back. Simmons.
Oh, there he goes. off. And he's in the air, look.
He's impaled on a tyre barrier.
The back of the car was up. Get moving, it looked like. Let's see.
Oh,
I'll be honest, he's paid the price for his dodgy internet there.
yeah, the computer thought he was one with the wall then for a moment.
Well, he appeared pretty much on top of another car, and it's not what you need really when you're fighting at the front, or you're fighting anywhere really. This is Rushworth. Still managing to stay. Bizarrely, he's actually still ahead of Sedgwick, because obviously Sedgwick had his issues. But Styles is just behind. It's 1.2 seconds for Thompson as they go on to the final lap. So Josh has done a good job to just clear Newman just enough. Newman is getting some slipstream, Adam, but he's minimal.
Yeah, I think around 1.5 seconds is if you pick up anything. That's what Alex Simpson always used to tell me anyway.
In this car, yeah. I think it's funny, isn't it, how you get 1.5 seconds of slipstream in this car, and then in some cars you get half a second and that's it.
Oh, yeah, the Porsche's ridiculous.
Was it the McLaren, their front car? It was like...
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. The Porsche Cup cars were atrocious for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Sam Kuma can lay testament to that. Back when we used to have the Porsche support race on a Thursday night for a few weeks.
He won that, no?
He won that, did you know? Yeah.
Yes. But Sminovic has won many things over his career. Well, he's in 8th place. We can see him there. Ross McFarlane and Michael Evdoka are putting pressure on Pete Harrod as well for 3rd position. That one's going to come down to the wire. Here's Palmer having a look. What can he do on this last lap? Can he do anything about the reigning champion and the former champion?
Yeah, he's in good company here. 2014/2015 champion in Dave Baker. But here is Josh Thompson. And if you're going to be a champion in this series, got to put in a performance like this. He's flashing the lights at Simon Field in the boosted car. Is he? I think they should not get to him. I don't think. But yeah, what a drive this has been from Thompson.
No, they are to him.
They have got to him.
They are to him. Field's going to get out of the way. Thompson is flashing lights furiously. I must admit, it's not what you want on the last lap. Field, of course, desperately trying to drive as fast as he can to make sure he gets points here in this race, which he will do. But the win is going to go to Josh Thompson for Craig's setup shop. So that is a great drive by Thompson. Really good indeed, ahead of Newman. That's huge points for Newman in the AM category as well, as that. This is Styles and Van Broek. Rushworth was close in that one as well. Styles gets there on the last lap.
Sutton lost a few places on that last lap. He was passed by Wojciech, passed by Palmer, and that was it. I don't know what caused him to lose those 2 places.
Well, that's Tyler Vickery, and that is a very slow Kip Stevens,
who hasn't crossed the line. I think it's just in front of him.
A few times, hasn't he? He did that earlier. He slowed down before the line. It's very strange. But again, we've gone beyond trying to think what Kip's thinking in this championship, haven't we? So over all these years, we've given up with trying to wonder what's in that man's head sometimes. And, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's true. He's an enigma. But yeah, there's no riddles about Thompson winning this one. And, a win for him, a win for Craig Setup Shop, and a win for the man who's contracted to Williams Esports. And Williams, I'm sure he'll be wishing them good luck for the Formula 1 over the weekend. And they've got a nice new livery as well, Adam. It's got a harks back to the sort of the 80s days of that team.
Yeah, that's a good one. In fact, there's a few. I bet you Cody's are pulling their hair out, because there's a whole load of teams that have announced new liveries for the start of the rebooted season.
That's one thing, at least, that iRacing don't have to worry about, is they can just get the car done and worry about what goes on it. Everybody else can deal with that. As Thompson wins then over Newman, and then Harrod, McFarlane in 4th, ahead of Ivdoka, and then Balfour. So they were quite close together at the end. Baker in 7th. He's going to be happy with that. He's had a good meeting as Dave. Svidovic in 8th, Palmer 9th. Another one with a good meeting, as is Williams. And then Blackhall in 11th, Sutton 12th. Again, poor finish for Sutton that time. He was having a great race, but then a bad last lap, as you mentioned. Still up 10 places from where he started. Jack Stiles in 13th, Jamie Rush with 14th. We saw he was involved in many things in that race. David Van Broek in 15th, and Greven, Johnston and Sedgwick. Sedgwick down in 18th. We saw his collision with the wall. Then it's Tyler Vickery, John Roberts in 20th, 21st for Cooper, Jason Cooper there, Kip Stevens in 22nd, and then Adam Hedgecock 23rd. 24th was Lee Berridge. I know what Stevens was doing. He was giving Cooper the points for the championship, wasn't he?
Yes.
That makes actually much more sense. So apologies there to Kip. Didn't realise that Cooper was that far down actually. To be fair, Hedgecock in 23rd, then Berridge, Gregory, Graham, and Gardner were the last people on the lead lap. Gardner after his incident on the mountain. Then Simmons was a lap down, as was Field. Nathan Davies, I think, crashed earlier on. And then Mark Woodhouse and Luke Cooper were the only retirements from the race. So 3 races, Adam, only 3 retirements. I'd say that's a success.
I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the evening, I would not have been able to have predicted that.
I thought there'd have been 3 out on lap 1 of race 1, to be honest.
There you go. I wonder if they're saving up for Daytona next week, which of course is the final round of the season. 3 more races to decide the title. Yeah, we've got the infield, and then you've got the run to the bus stop chicane, and then after that, the titles will be on the line as well. So nerves will be, it will be on the edge, that's for sure. And we do have some of those championship contenders ready to talk to us, and they know each other well. I've seen them speak to one another at the Sim Expo. That's how sure I am that I know that they know each other well. We'll start off with Ross Balfour, because we spoke to Josh Thompson at Suzuka last week. So we'll start off with somebody different. And Ross Balfour, can you hear us, mate?
You hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, well done. Well done tonight. It was an important race meeting for you and quite a few other drivers, but what was it like trying to get through those 3 races? Because Bathurst, it's a very difficult circuit to make sure you get away from it without any contact.
To be honest, I'm just lucky I finished all 3 races. That was my objective tonight. It's always a bit of a lottery at Bathurst, especially with reverse grid races. I was amazed at how clean it was tonight. Not a lot of big pileups, so I didn't drive that well, to be honest, considering I put a decent bit of practice in. I made quite a few mistakes. I think I was just too cautious. But overall, it's good points. I think I've extended my championship lead a little bit to Ross, so I'm happy enough for that.
Race 1 was pretty interesting. You started off well, and then of course you had Jack Sedgwick coming through. A good battle between you two?
Well, knowing how dirty a driver Jack is, now joking. Yeah, he extremely quick, and he got a lot of bad luck last time out, so he wasn't really in the championship hunt. So I just let him by and just followed him through. Just trying to play the percentage game. Really, it was pretty boring. I really wanted to battle him. I felt I could have probably, but I just had to take the points over some guys behind. So.
And then race 3, at least for the first half of it, you were right in the thick of the action there. Jamie Rushworth was with you as well, I think, at the time, and he was going for everything.
I drove so badly that 3rd race. Like, I drove so many mistakes, and I was so slow, and I was just lucky to get 6th place. I lost the rear coming down the mountain there, and I think the 3rd lap when Ivdoka and Rushworth were beside each other, and I thought I could maybe get up the inside of both of them, but I just didn't have my tires warm enough, and my back stepped out, and luckily I was able to keep the car in one piece. So shapes it up well for Daytona. It's pretty close up top with Josh getting that win as well, the lucky sod. So we'll see how it next week.
You have just a few more. You're racing with George Simmons, whose internet wasn't the best, at least from what we could see anyway. Was that making it even more tough for you?
Yeah, it was. It's, you know, when a peacock like plumes its feathers, it's like George Simmons appears in your rearview mirror, then disappears and appears in rear. A couple of seconds, he was flashing in and out. There was one point he was inside Michael Ivdoka, maybe not for the first time, and then that was it. You know, it was hard to
My.
see where we were getting on. So no, it was good racing for everyone. It was good to have George in the championship. He's really quick, and hopefully he can do the full series next season because he'll be right up there as well.
Finally, you've made it to Daytona then, as you said, in one piece. Are you now going to unwrap the cotton wool of that Audi RS3 and go at it for the title at Daytona?
Quite hard. Daytona, as you know, is intensive, and I don't have any teammates, so I'm going to have to just hope someone is very kind to me and give me a slipstream for qualifying. Otherwise, I'll be about 20th. So it's worked okay so far the whole way through the season, going solo. So hopefully, I can do one more round, and I can hopefully hold on.
It's been a fantastic showdown for you, Ross. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, just shout out to all the guys I raced with tonight. Racing was really clean and respectful, and also shout out to Court Sim Racing and all the guys watching. And yeah, let's just go one more week and see how we get on. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, well done, Ross. Thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us, and yeah, all the best next week.
All the best, boys.
Yeah, well done to Ross, and you know it's going to be a great fight next week, and someone else who's going to be in the thick of that action, no doubt, is going to be Josh Thompson. Josh joins us now. Josh, can you hear us, mate?
Hello.
Well, you know, Daytona beckons. It's that time of the season again, and your meeting couldn't have finished in better fashion tonight after a great battle with Pete Newman.
Yeah, I needed it. I 100% had to go for the win after race 2. Thought I did the right thing and pulling over and getting out of the way when the carnage happened and still got collected, which is a bit of a joke. Many words were said, but won't repeat them. But nah, that race 3 was what's made or break the actual run for the championship. Still, at least I'm now still in the hunt.
Yeah, well and truly, and well, on to Daytona, you know, next week. Then, what do you expect from that? Because we know that this car has quite short gearing, and we know that makes overtaking fairly difficult at times around places like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Tonight, I didn't think it really helped being the main overtaking places were into the chase and stuff. So I don't think that really helped. When there was one person at the front and you were behind, you could get a run and get an overlap, no issue. It's when you're in a train, you hit the limiter. So I still think you can get alongside, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be a lot of do or die moves, I think, coming to the last few laps in the infield and the hairpins. So it'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's going to be like the old DRS trains, isn't it? We're going to see those. Very similar to those in Daytona. And, well, as for tonight, you know, you really did need the points, didn't you, in that last race? It was really important that you got ahead of Pete there, I think.
Yeah, qualifying, I messed up a good lap. So to be 4th on the grid was okay. I was too kind to Jack at the start. I should have ran him out of road, to be honest. But nah, after that, I just got held up by Wojciech. I just couldn't get a run. There was no point of risking sending a stupid move in and getting a penalty so close to the end of the season. Next week, I think the gloves will be off between everyone, I think, because obviously, who wants to finish second, really?
Well, that's it, because a lot of people don't remember the person who finishes second is what we've said in the past. And what we do hope that you remember is your list of sponsors. So take it away.
Oh God. So obviously, first off,
going to find a piece of paper with it.
I ain't got my sheet up. But okay, so first off, you guys, as always, thank you for doing the broadcast on the Esports Network. All the admins at ARL for getting all this sorted. Obviously, all the penalties and protests and stuff. Everyone at Williams, so Chill Blast, Razor, BenQ, Playseat, Fanatec, One All Sport, and Craig's Setup Shop for getting me into this series before.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks very much, Josh, for joining us, and we'll see you next week when hopefully you'll have something to celebrate. Who knows?
Hopefully. See you later, guys.
Cheers. Well, Adam, another week has finished and another broadcast here on the iRacing Esports Network. Bathurst again delivered, didn't it?
Yeah, it has, and it was another frantic 3 races, and as we saw there from hearing from Josh Thompson and from Ross Balfour, they've made it through it, and that was something that we said right at the beginning of the show. They just need to get to the end, and they have done that, and now we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen at Daytona next week. And we have got some. This is this is probably the first time we've got to Daytona with the form book completely ripped up, because the likes of Thompson and Balfour, they've never been as high as this in a championship going into a final round ever, I think. And all of a sudden, the likes of Wojciech Savinovic and the usual, and Jack Sedgwick, the guys that we had at the going for the title last year, they are massive underdogs, because once again, it hasn't been as good a race meeting as they probably would have liked it.
All of that's very true, mate, and especially, you know, we know that obviously drivers do other championships and things like that, but yeah, until you get to the final round in contention, something that really has never happened for me before, that I can only imagine the nerves are going to ramp up, and even these very, very good drivers probably do get nervous, and we've seen, you know, certain drivers not perform in the past. So it's going to be a cracking finish to the season. Thanks, Adam, as usual. Thanks, Sam, for the cameras, and we want to thank you at home for watching. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, this has been the presentation of the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship on the iRacing Esports Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all that jazz. And we will see you next week at Daytona, when this championship will come to an end. Who's going to be the champion? We'll find out. Cheers.